What's up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for a Monday. Let's kick it off. Get your week rolling here the right way, on the right foot. Let's do this. We're going to be talking some recruiting updates. Don't forget, please join click the join button down below. Get more recruiting stuff than you could ever imagine. You get members only videos. I'm posting a daily recruiting nugget. I can't use that word nugget. It reminds me of that terrible site. Buckeye Poop. Is that what it's called? Yeah, something like that. Very mature, right? I know. These guys suck. They owe me money. Anyway, so today we're talking recruiting. Got some updates from the weekend. We had 7 visitors in town. Don't forget, Gerby Lambert has rescheduled for next week. But we had Buckeye commit running back Jordan Lyle. We had Buckeye commit tight end Max LeBlanc. We had wide receiver from Maryland Elijah Moore. We had Texas O lineman Daniel Cruz. I got an update on him. We had Louisiana D tackle Dominic McKinley. We're going to talk about him as well. And we had Texas D lineman Nigel Smith and Florida linebacker, also teammate of Jordan Lyle, Nicholas Rodriguez. So those guys were all in town for their officials. And as I get more info, I'll let you have it. I'll be hitting you up with more updates probably later this week at some point. But today we're talking wide receivers. First off, 4-star Virginia wide receiver Keelan Adams canceled his visit to Ohio State. So I believe he was coming in the 9th. I'd have to double check. It doesn't matter. He's not fucking coming anyways. So, all right, good luck to you, Keelan. Cross him off the list. Next. So we had wide receiver Elijah Moore from Maryland on campus this weekend, like I mentioned, and Jeremiah McClellan, huge Buckeye target from St. Louis, is next weekend. But then next weekend, you got Elijah Moore visiting the team up north. So Buckeyes get the first visit. Who knows? Maybe he'll cancel that Michigan visit. This weekend, you had Jeremiah McClellan visiting LSU. Looked like he had a good time. So Buckeyes he comes into the Buckeyes next week. I'm starting to lean towards 4 wide receivers in this class. I think the Buckeyes get McClellan. It's already got crystal balls into Ohio State. And I think they get Elijah Moore. Don't forget, McClellan is the 4-star, 6'1", 185 out of St. Louis. Elijah Moore is the 6'3", 190, 3-star from Maryland. So Elijah Moore is more of that outside receiver. He's kind of a Jeremiah Smith body type. So that's why the Buckeyes have been leaning towards getting a slot guy like Jeremiah McClellan so they can get one of each. So if they go with 2 outside receivers, at least in this class, they got to get at least 1 slot. So we got Mylan Graham and Jeremiah Smith already. So we'll see what happens there. I'm leaning towards closer to 4 wide receivers, but definitely 1 more at least. So as we know, the Buckeyes hosted their first round of summer official visitors over the weekend. And Daniel Cruz, the Texas offensive lineman, 6'4", 300 pounds from North Richland Hills, number 11 ranked guard in the country. He's one of those big fish that Justin's trying to fry. Get it? Fish fry? No, it's not actually going to fry him. So anyways, but Justin Fry is going after Daniel Cruz pretty hot and heavy. He spent most of the weekend with Cruz. And, we've got 4 O-linemen committed, all from the Buckeye State in this 24 class. But we need to add a couple more at least. So Cruz seems to be the most likely interior guy, the guard. He's planning to visit 4 schools this month. Obviously, Ohio State first, then Oklahoma, Texas, and Texas A&M. So kind of staying close to home, being from Texas, and then also Ohio State, He did have a few interesting quotes here. He said that the visit went amazing. My family and I had a terrific experience up here. We were treated with great hospitality. One of the major things that stood out to me was the position meeting I had with Coach Fry. And that's what a lot of these recruits say, by the way, that when they have a one-on-one with Coach Fry and he points out things he can improve, not just, he doesn't even know if the kid's going to go here, but he's pointing out things for the kid to work on, just to make himself better, regardless of what school he goes to. So those meetings, one-on-ones, and you get that with the entire staff, those are really huge in the recruiting process. So, Daniel Cruz also went on to say that ultimately the final factor will be what coach I think can develop me to be the best I can be and get me to achieve my ultimate goal and work with me to get there. I'll be committing once I'm done with all my visits. So probably a July commitment. That's typically the heavy commitment month. After he wants to get through all of his visits. So that knocks out the entire month of June, and then talk it over with his family probably, and then make a decision before his senior year. So I would imagine a July commitment somewhere. But I think the Buckeyes should feel optimistic here, feel confident. Now let's talk Dominic McKinley, the D tackle from Lafayette, Louisiana. Very rare to get one of them Southern boys up into Columbus. 6'6", 270 D lineman. This is Larry Johnson and Alan Clark. Keep Alan Clark's name in the back of your head. They've been working hard on McKinley for months. Recruiting inside the state of Louisiana is a major challenge for anybody up north. You know that. But Alan Clark, being from Baton Rouge, he's confident he can open the door for the Buckeyes to the south. And this was McKinley's first trip to Columbus, and Buckeyes are feeling confident. It's going to be a battle all the way down to the wire for his recruitment. But so his Ohio State was his first official visit, and he plans to take trips to Oklahoma, Texas A&M, similar to Daniel Cruz, almost, the exact same 4 schools. He is planning McKinley is planning in-season official visits to Georgia and LSU. So obviously wants to get that game day experience. Most coaches hate that because they're trying to win a freaking game typically. So, you know how it goes. So if a recruit wants to come, you got to fucking let him come. You can't say no. So like I said, his recruitment is going to go down to the wire, probably to December. But it would be huge if Buckeyes can get McKinley and his family back on campus for a game day, probably earlier in the year. That's when you got to get those Southern guys up there, right? Like September, mid-October to latest, right? Before it starts cooling down and shit. And Buckeyes are in the fight with this one. So we'll keep it locked in here. I'll keep you posted on how things are going there, but it's going to be interesting to see where he really leans, going forward. Last guy we want to talk about is the 2025 guy. So we were talking 24s there on the beginning of this show, but 25, we want to talk about the quarterback, Ohio quarterback Tavien St. Clair, picking up offers. This guy is quickly becoming a national recruit. He could be a 5-star before it's all said and done. 6'4", 213. Him and his family this past weekend went on a tour of Southern schools. He didn't stop by my place, so I'm not a school. I realize that, but it would have been nice of him to swing by if they were down here in the Sunshine State. But on Saturday, St. Clair picked up offers from LSU and Alabama. Both schools had already visited Bellefontaine, not Bellefontaine. I'm working on it. Both schools visited him recently at his high school to watch him throw. So they felt comfortable extending the offer. And then he got the chance to throw for Nick Saban. So that's a big deal for a kid from Ohio, I'm sure. Quickly becoming a national recruit, but it's great for Ohio high school football to have quality quarterback play coming out of the state. Got Montgomery, you got Tavian St. Clair. This is huge for the Buckeye State, and to have these 2 guys in one season, I think we see an uptick in the quality of Ohio high school football, and that's huge. And they're starting to loosen the strings, loosen the rules and regulations on spring ball in Ohio. So they got to keep loosening that more and get those 7-on-7 camps and stuff, more of those. So hopefully that continues. But on Tavian St. Clair, if you join the TVC community, TVC friends, you get access to his 7-on-7 video I posted this weekend and his highlight video. Also, Ryan Montgomery's highlight video, both from their 2022 seasons. So click join right down there, wherever you see the join button, and hop in there. It's well worth it. Like I said, I'm posting new shit every day, things that you're not just going to get anywhere on 11 Warriors or something. So check it out. I highly encourage it. But that's all for today. Tomorrow, I think we're going to talk D tackles. Got to rank the tackles. Let's talk about the big men. They never get any love, big men. That's all. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.